Welcome to the Mind Forge, where we sharpen your thoughts and empower your world. Today, let's explore the subtle art of overcoming resistance. Meet Gohan. Like many of us, he's a dreamer with big aspirations, launching a passion project, achieving fitness goals, and mastering that elusive skill he's long yearned for. His mind teems with ideas and visions of where he could be. Yet, despite his eagerness to start, resistance seems to find its way in. At first, it's subtle. Procrastination disguised as urgent tasks, self-doubt, fleeting but persistent, and distractions that seem too convenient to ignore. Gohan dismisses these as harmless, thinking, "I'll get to it tomorrow." But then tomorrow turns into another tomorrow, and the cycle continues. What began as small obstacles soon escalate into a complete standstill. He spends countless hours reflecting, wondering, why can't I just get this done? Why is it so hard when I want it so badly? It's a question that resonates deeply, because it's one many of us have asked at some point. We've all felt excitement give way to frustration, our goals sidelined by something invisible yet powerful. It isn't laziness, but it feels like it. Gohan starts searching for answers, devouring videos and books for motivation. Each source leaves him momentarily inspired, but the feeling quickly fades. Why can't I hold on to this spark? He wonders. This frustration forces Gohan to look inward, suspecting something fundamental about his behavior might be at play. Then, through his readings, he stumbles upon an eye-opening truth. Resistance isn't a personal failing. It's hardwired into the human experience. Our minds are wired to resist discomfort and unfamiliarity, even when those paths lead to growth. This discovery ignites a spark in Gohan. If resistance is part of being human, it means he is not broken. He's simply facing a natural challenge. But what's the solution to overcoming it? His search takes him further into mindfulness, ancient wisdom, and time-tested practices. He realizes that perhaps the answers he seeks aren't modern, but rooted in something far older. With curiosity and determination, Gohan begins a transformative journey. Along the way, he uncovers tools and strategies that empower him to challenge resistance and align with his true self. It's a journey of resilience and self-discovery, one that reveals truths that might also inspire you. This is the story of Gohan, a relatable, everyday individual navigating the barriers that wear on us all. As he reflects, grows, and acts, his journey unfolds like a mirror, offering insights that could empower each of us to conquer our own invisible battles. Eastern philosophy often describes the mind with a striking metaphor. It's like a wild monkey, constantly leaping from branch to branch, noisy and restless. Gohan first encounters this idea while researching mindfulness, and it immediately resonates. He realizes that his resistance, whether it manifests as procrastination, indecision, or irrational fears, feels exactly like that unruly monkey. His thoughts dart from place to place, pulling him in countless directions, but never toward action. This concept both intrigues and frustrates him because the frantic energy of his mind feels inescapable. However, another key insight from this philosophy captures his attention. Trying to suppress or silence the monkey only makes it more chaotic. What if I stopped fighting and tried simply observing? Gohan wonders. It's a small but profound breakthrough. Perhaps the key is not to conquer resistance, but to understand it. Encouraged by this shift, he begins experimenting with mindfulness techniques, At first, they feel insignificant. He takes a few moments to tune into his physical sensations, noticing tightness in his chest and racing thoughts when procrastination hits. Yet strangely, just naming these sensations seems to take away some of their power. Over time, this practice grows. He starts to sit with his resistance rather than running away from it. For example, when fear creeps in before starting an important task, he acknowledges it, breathes deeply, and begins with one small, manageable action. This act alone feels transformative. By taking just that first step, he finds momentum. The practice doesn't eliminate resistance entirely. Instead, it creates space between Gohan and his impulses. He begins to approach challenges with clarity rather than panic. Each time he observes his thoughts without judgment, the wild monkey in his mind becomes a bit calmer. Gradually, Gohan's small moments of awareness evolve into larger victories. Tasks that once seemed overwhelming now feel doable, even satisfying. It's as if he's watching a stormy river from the safety of the shore, instead of being carried away by the current. And occasionally, though rarely, there come pure moments of stillness where his mind feels entirely at peace. Those moments, fleeting as they may be, are enough to keep him moving forward. This new practice reshapes Gohan's entire approach to life. Mindfulness doesn't erase the challenges, but it equips him with better tools to face them. As he continues to develop these skills, he realizes that bridging the gap between intention and action begins with something as simple as noticing. Awareness becomes his greatest ally in navigating the invisible barriers that once paralyzed him. As Gohan deepens his mindfulness practice, he feels drawn toward foundational teachings in philosophy. One concept that fascinates him is Wu Wei, a central idea in Taoism often translated as effortless action. At first, the term seems contradictory. How can action ever be effortless? Isn't struggle necessary for success? But as he reads more, the metaphor of a river shifts his perspective. The river doesn't force its way forward, it flows naturally, carving a path of least resistance. Intrigued, Gohan decides to experiment with applying Wu Wei to his daily challenges. When facing a daunting project, for instance, he pauses to reflect. How can I approach this naturally instead of forcing myself? Breaking tasks into smaller intuitive steps is his first strategy. For example, decluttering his workspace, a task he used to dread, starts with clearing just one drawer. Once this small action is complete, motivation follows, transforming the process from overwhelming to manageable. This small victory opens the door to larger ones. Over time, Gohan learns that Wu Wei doesn't mean avoiding work, but reframing it. It's about aligning with the nature of the task and yourself, not pushing against it. Through this lens, resistance changes. Instead of seeing it as a barrier that requires brute force, Gohan begins to view it as an opportunity to adapt and rethink his approach. Productivity increases, but strangely, the process feels less stressful. His time becomes more efficient, filled with tasks completed in a state of flow. Wu Wei extends beyond productivity. It seeps into other aspects of life, helping Gohan navigate conflicts with greater ease and reducing the frustration he feels when things don't go as planned. Success doesn't demand constant effort. Instead, it requires consistent, natural alignment. Through practicing Wu Wei, Gohan's mindset undergoes a profound transformation. He realizes that many struggles are self-imposed, stemming from his insistence on forcing outcomes. Letting go, adapting, and following the natural flow of his ability abilities make the path far smoother. Wu Wei redefines perseverance for Gohan, not as climbing against the tide, but as moving decisively with the current when the timing is right. Thank you for joining us on the Mind Forge. Until next time, sharpen your thoughts and empower your world. Before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join the Mind Forge community to continue sharpening your thoughts and empowering